I'm a music director, music teacher, vocal coach, choral director, choral conductor. Music is my life, music is my passion, music defines me. This is Andrew Tumbo. Three words that best describe Andrew Tumbo. The first one would definitely have to be music. Music is how I communicate, music is how I interact, music is how I create. The second word would be passion. I do not believe in giving half to anything that you're doing. And the third one, Afrocentric, would be the word I would use. There is no bad art, there is no good art, there is art. My journey started very weirdly. The very first point where I interacted with music and performance was nursery school. I don't know if you remember this song. Bwana Tumbo mwenye shamba alipanda viazi. And it just so happened that I was a Bwana Tumbo. So the teachers made me the Bwana Tumbo, gave me a djembe, put some, the Zangalewa type of Tumbo, yeah? And I was there digging, and I saw my mother in the audience, and I got excited, and she saw me back, and we waved. And it's been a love-love relationship. Ever since. Never been love-hate at any point. That's my first memory for my interaction with performance art, and specifically with the music performance art. As I grew, Mom supported me a lot. Mom has been my great supporter, still is to date, biggest fan. She bought me a keyboard when I finished class 8, which suddenly opened a whole new world, This can happen, wow, I went to Strathmore and we did not have music. It's very scientific. But funny enough, my biology teacher noted that passion for music and gave me a CD of opera singers, soprano singers, and the Handel Messiah, hallelujah, that. And when I listened to it, I was like, oh, mind blown, This whole new world was suddenly opened. What we did have at Strathmore, though, was the choir, which I joined, which got me into trouble so many times because now academics were suffering because I'm too passionate about the choir, fests, We go there, a whole new world is opened. The journey goes to Maseno University. Funny enough, I was called for media. So 1 year in, and I was like, you know what? I'm transferring courses. I was always finding myself at the music department, listening in, performing with them. It was a tough conversation at home, but Mavi supported it once again, which made things a bit easier. In 4th year, we're given a project. We're going around but researching music in the context of the African cultural element. And I'm like, God, there's nothing we know. There's nothing we know. We do not know our own things, which is so sad. People are writing big books out here about our own things, who are not even our own people. And that sparked something in me. Graduated from Maseno, first class, Siringi, Nasema too.
Of course.
Yeah. And while in that 4th year element, the idea was born that why don't we find a way to retell our stories? Why don't we find a way to create using our imaginations, using our facility. And Spellcast is born. With my cousin, who is now currently a lawyer, we're just seated one day and we're like, yo, see, we find a way of retelling these our stories. And how can we do this? Musical theater combines all elements of performance: music, dance, acting, the spectacle of lighting, the spectacle of sound, all that element of expression. It was born as a facility to tell a story, but it evolved and became such a huge thing, a family that is now going strong 7 years later, and we are still here doing it. I'm always very passionate about bringing the best in people, showing them that the greatness is within, and you can still, you just believe in yourself, believe in somebody can do so much.
You're a powerhouse. We know you for the vocal strength, the raw power within your voice, and we also know you for your growls. But we also need to hear Rafiki in the midst of all that. Sawa sawa. Lego.
That's where I am currently. So I'm working a lot with kids in secondary schools, in primary schools. I'm working a lot. I'm currently working on a production to bring the sound of music to Kenya, which is iconic, It's monumental. It's never happened before. It's a big musical, so we joined a team that bought the rights to it from Broadway, and we're trying to imagine or even dream of a possibility where we can actually make an industry out of theater, which is one of the most crazy industries in the entertainment element. It's an industry of loss, let me tell you. You start and you're making a loss. Kama hakuna sponsors, jua tu, hakuna kitu una make from it. We are trying to reimagine that narrative and retell it and pump in the energy that needs to be given to this industry. If Broadway is doing it, why can't we? And it starts with just building that culture. Spellcast Media, when it started, was just an element of, let's retell our stories. But it evolved and morphed and became a monster of its own. My mom is a counselor, and one thing that she told me once really hit me hard. She told me, these kids who come to Spellcast, they're not coming there to sing or to learn how to dance or to act or any of that. These kids are dealing, and they're dealing with great demons of their own, and Spellcast becomes an outlet. So Spellcast became more of a family and a haven for the outcasts and for the non-fittings and whatnot, My vision for Spellcast has always been on the blueprint of Disney. Disney is timeless. We're still watching Disney today. Disney is still reinventing. Disney is churning out talent. Disney is franchising, Disney is in theater. Disney is animations. We have Disney Kids. So it's a formation point. It's a creation point. It's a melting point of all these things. I reimagined a situation where Spellcast is the African Disney. We are helping churn out that talent, we are creating, we are retelling. But what it also became is it became a safe space for people to be who they are without fear of judgment, without fear of anything, without fear of inability, without the fear of lack of means to be able to do it. It's open to all. And I don't audition people when they join Spellcast. You come, I will make you what you think you want to be. And then I'll also tell you that it's not me who made you made you.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without
Of course, COVID hit us hard. COVID got our show cancelled twice, and we went into a year of nothingness. We couldn't even meet to rehearse, you know. That was a tough year. 2020 was a tough year. And then 2021 opens up and we say, okay, let's do this show. We are preparing. March again. Second nini. Cancel. So our lesson, our moral from the story is don't put up shows in March. Just let it go. Yeah. Music direction is not what you might think it is. That's what I've learned in my interactions of music direction. Music direction is a lot of admin and a lot of paperwork that needs to be done and a lot of following up. Yes, the creativity is still there, the element of creation. The music is the central part that glues everything together. It's a delicate balance that yes, the music is there, but at the same time, what are the other elements of the art? Are they feeling aloof because the music is too good and then it must match? And then the thing about music, and even when you watch films, the music is there, but you hardly notice it. It's so subtle, it's an underlying thread that's just tying everything together, but it's not all out in your face. So the music is that thread and needle that ties it all together, but so subtly and so, I dare even say humbly, that it is not noticed. Then that's the beauty about it. So there's that challenge of trying to balance it out with the other elements of the art. Of course, music is so expressive and superfluous that you just want to oof, but you have to control yourself because you're not trying to outshadow or the other elements of it. Yes, the story is the superior element. The hierarchy is the story and the music is the underlying thing. But the music without, then the story is lost. Musical production, what I've learned from it is the element of specificity. And then there's musical production in various contexts. There's musical production for a theater show. There's musical production for a reality show that's going on TV. There's musical production for audio in studio, which are all different ball games. And don't be lied to it, it's the same thing. Each comes with its own set of rules that you must stick to. There's that element of studiousness that you must put in yourself as the person who's bringing it together, to make sure that yes, there are rules. Yes, they are to be broken, but there are parameters that must still be stuck to if you want to have that product at the end that makes sense. So there's a lot of questions and there's a lot of introspection, there's a lot of teamwork. That's also a humbling experience because I'm a very, I want to do everything kind of person, yeah? I want to do that, I want to do that. But I've had to let go of certain elements, yeah? And thankfully so. Because what I've also realized is it gets a lot done. And that's actually the African way to do it, you know? There was no single storyteller. Even the audience was part of the story. Paukwa pakawa. You know, kind of thing. We were all part of the story. We were melted at the fireplace and we became one single element. But the story never belonged to one single person, which is a humbling thing as well, yeah? Everybody had something to add to it. And then that beauty now comes together. Of course, now there must be control because too many cooks also might spoil that broth, yeah? So that element of control now is what you as the director or you as the production head, you know. That is what you're now. You're looking at the vision from afar. But you're not diving into all of it. You want to do this, you want to do that. You can't work.
1, 2, 3, go.
Sasa hiyo ni note gani imeanza nayo?
Theater, because it's live, you can escape with a lot. So theater is a lot more flexible. Audio production is very strict and very specific. I think that would be the biggest difference between the two.
Swallow my pride.
I am always for the idea of let's not limit artistic expression in whatever form.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Say something.
Say something. I'll be the one if you want me to.
Say something.
Say something. Oh, say something.
There's a German who once said, a German composer, this is my art. You can choose as an audience to share in it or to leave it to me. And I live by that motto. There is no bad art, there is no good art. There is art. If somebody can connect to it, well and good. If you can't, be gone, go find another artist to connect to.
I'll be the one if you want me to say something.
So I am here for everything that is happening in the Kenyan industry right now. The good, and the good. Yeah, full stop. As long as somebody has put in some effort into it, it deserves respect. If you can't connect to it, it's not to say you must. And in that breeding, we get inspiration from each other, we collaborate, we compete healthily, we pace each other. And there's still space. That's the beauty about it. There's always space in creativity. Yes.
What's it gonna be? 'Cause I can't pretend. Don't you wanna be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go.
It's very interesting that you should bring up this conversation of mental health and the awareness, especially in the artistic circle, because it's a conversation I've been having with any creative, any performer, any artist that I've been meeting.
Be more than friends. Hold me tight and don't let go. Don't let go. Have the right to lose control. Don't let go.
We kept the world alive when COVID hit us at our own expense. And it got me asking many questions. We as creatives, we as performers, we are seen as commodities of happiness, commodities of satisfaction. Our audience demands that we make them happy, demands that we make them forget the things they're going through in their own lives, but at whose expense? We become the clowns. We put up makeup on our faces, we go make them laugh, then we go backstage and we wipe that makeup and we are left with our own demons. Who is dealing with our demons? The 2020 gap was horrendous. Everybody was running to art to just stay sane. But where were the artists running to? Because for us, it's not our safe space, evidently. It's an expectation that we must deliver. We must deliver therapy, but who's therapizing us? So it's a conversation. I have no answer for you, by the way. Yeah, I have no answer for you because it's still a conversation that I'm having with myself and with everybody that I can possibly have. But what can we do as a collective? We need to create these safe spaces where we can have these conversations and find solutions as artists, as creatives, as performers, where we get to deal, where we get to talk, where maybe we can even address it with our audience that, this is about time that we start having this conversation. As I've told you, theater is an industry of loss.
Yes.
You put in so much finance to it. And then we are not in a culture where people are willing to pay 5K to come and sit for a 2-hour show and then leave, Like, Kwani, how much is that? Kwani, what are we getting? I'd rather go and spend it at a Sauti Soul concert or go and pay 10K for Kofi Olomide, I'd rather do that than come at you for a theater performance. We've not reached that place where we've bred the culture where people are willing to spend on theater. The corporates need to support. The corporates need to pour in the investment. The government needs to pour in the investment in this. The other challenge I face in the theater industry, boy child. The boy child is not there anymore. It's a problem. The girl child is taking over male roles.
Situation ugeuka tricky, kila shimo na panda miti, contribution kwa timafisi karura.
We have given too much support to the girl child. I'm sorry, women, I love you. I love you with all my heart. I love my mother with all my heart. But we gave too much attention to the girl child at the expense of the boy child, and we can see what's happening because of that. The boy child is not willing to express themselves anymore. There's very few, I kid you not, like the productions that we're doing in school, I cannot get males to play male characters. The girls are the ones playing male characters. Something is wrong. Something needs to be addressed. As we climb up into the industry, the boy child is not there. Males are not willing to come up for auditions, to come for roles.
Situation imekuwa tricky, kuna shimo alipanda miti, na hivi sasa ako kamiti kwa jela. Situation imekuwa tricky kwa hivyo.
It's a ratio of 1 to 10. For every 1 boy child, there's 10 females, which is a sad, sad predicament. Let us support the children equally. That is what we need to do. We forgot about our boys. We gave the support to the girls that was needed, but we forgot our boys. And they are still just children. We can easily give the same support to either side.